Hey everyone, I'm Phantom King and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be checking out the new Xbox Developer Direct for 2024 in January. And we're going to see what they have to show us. We're supposedly going to see some gameplay for the new Indiana Jones game, so that should be interesting. Maybe another look at Hellblade. And we'll see if they have any surprises. We're also going to get a look at Avowed, of course. And our history Untold. I'm not sure if we're going to get any release dates for some of the games that are undated. I think most people are excited to see Indiana Jones since that's the only game that we really haven't seen before, especially in terms of gameplay, what it's going to look like, third person or first person, considering Machine Games has always done first person games, historically. Well, that's interesting. We actually have like wands as a magic tool. Also some lizard looking enemies, kind of like Lizalfos from Zelda.
That can be quickly switched during combat. That means you
And
can
we have
play
some
however
gun
you want.
weapons in there.
Equip a sword and shield,
like
and
flintlock
charge into
pistols.
battle. Even dual-wield wands to feel like a gunslinging mage.
Dual-wield wands?
You could use your
Okay.
enchanted wand to freeze enemies, and then use your offhand weapon's power attack to shatter them. We've worked hard to keep you constantly engaged
kinda
as
cool.
battles
Alright, so what's next? Ara? Or Hellblade? Alright, looks like we're gonna get a look at Hellblade next. Maybe a release date if it's not coming in the fall as well? Now I'm wondering if she's hearing things and seeing things,
In the game,
how much of it is actually real and how much of it is not real. Because at some point she's going to be battling things, and if there's other people there, you would think that some of it would actually be real.
And which
in
turn
that
has seen
case.
the rise of the Droiga, a violent threat that is
Well, that's kind of cool the way they walk around the mic
Our mission here at Ninja Theory is
to create that
craft life-changing
immersive
paths with
voice
game-changing
in her
content.
head.
And that's our aim in Senua's.
Oh snap, so that leaked release date was correct. In May, on the 21st. So at least we do have a release date now. And the interesting part of that game is just going to be seeing Senua interact with other characters instead of just monsters, because the first game was very isolated. Oh. Is this a surprise announcement? Square Enix? Oh snap. Square Enix just went in the developer direct. Is that Mana? Wow, I didn't actually expect them to throw in like a third-party thing. Oh snap. Maybe we're gonna see the pixel remasters for Final Fantasy?
My name is Masaru Oyamada, producer for the Mana series.
Oh, it was
here
Mana.
at
I thought
Square
that didn't
Enix.
look like Final Fantasy in the picture.
聖剣です。
But this is the
どんどん
new
マナの
Visions
情
of
報を
Mana.
Xbox
Well,
ゲーム
that's
としては
interesting. I didn't
約
expect to see
17 年
like a
ぶりとなる
third-party
聖剣です
trailer
シリーズ
thing.
の完全
And
なる
this is
ファンタ
actually
ジー
going to be
体
the
験として
first
誕生
Mana
している
game on Xbox, so it'd
マナと
be interesting to
聖
see
剣を
if
巡る
they
描かれる
announce any
愛を
ports
テー
for
マに
the older ones.
新たな
Well,
仲
that's
間を考
interesting.
え
You
る
get
にあた
like
って
a
は今作
a
のマスコッ
mount
トキャラクター
of
に
some
なって
kind. And they modeled it after a dog
具体
rather
的
than
な
like
イ
a
メー
wolf.
ジや売り上げ
That's
方を
funny.
考えながら
Like a
調
giant
整を
dog you
重ね
get
て
to
い
ride
き
on. Okay, so there's a release window of the summer. Could be an August release, or maybe July or something. I didn't expect Square Enix to be here at all, let alone that much of a dive into Visions of Mana. Alright, now we're gonna get a look at Ara. Alright, so that's also in the fall, but only on PC for the time being until they make an Xbox version, maybe. Alright, now it's finally time to see what Machine Games has done with Indiana Jones. I think it's been a really long time since we've seen an Indiana Jones game outside of maybe the Lego Indiana Jones games. Alright, let's see what it looks
Let me
like.
tell you what you are missing, Dr. Jones. While you were playing your pointless game, I was playing you. You're wondering if maybe you should have built yourself a life of meaning instead of ending up here, dead and forgotten in the sense of Africa.
It looks pretty good. Oh wow, so it is going to be first person though. That's kind of interesting. Well, it's interesting that they decided to make it first person, but kind of cutscenes in third person obviously, so we get a good look at, you know, Indiana Jones himself.
It ain't a walk in the park.
Okay then.
The Great Circle.
And the Great Circle, okay. So now we have a title. And I wonder if there's a date. I mean, it looked pretty
Indiana Jones
finished.
is such an icon.
Okay, yeah, so they showed him
Indiana
swinging
Jones and the Great
with the
Circle
whip,
is
and
set
it kind of
between
zoomed out
Raiders
like
of the
that
Lost Ark
in certain
and the Last
situations.
Crusade.
Oh, we even have a
When our
timeline
game
placement.
begins, Indiana is working at Marshall. The mysterious giant of a man makes off with what seems to be a historically insignificant artifact, sparking Indiana's curiosity.
Who the hell are you?
Following the trail, Indiana heads to the Vatican, hoping to learn why this particular relic was stolen, and discovers that things aren't what they appear.
He starts pulling.
Well,
at
that
the
guy looked like
strings
the
of a
guy that
mystery,
plays
and it
Venom.
all-
Yeah, being able
We
to
also
capture
take a
kind
very
of the
movie-like
score
approach to
is
things like
kind of
cinematics.
important too
We're
for
very physical
Indiana
with our
Jones,
production
as
style.
much as it
We
would
use a
be
lot
for
of
Star
sound
Wars
actors.
too, being, you know,
Things
John
like this
Williams'
help us
kind
bridge
of
the gap
iconic
between
style.
making a game and making a movie.
Alright, so it is confirmed for this year, but I'm not sure if we have a actual seasonal window like the other games. Yeah, no window other than this year. So that's kind of interesting. Kind of alludes to it being later in the year than earlier, but you never know. And now I guess we're just gonna get a sizzle reel here. Alright, it looks like that does it for this year's Developer Direct. At least for the general one. I don't know if they plan to have any more Developer Directs, or if they're going to have a game-specific one later on. But I think it was pretty well done, pretty well paced overall. I definitely didn't expect it, like I said, Square Enix to show up there with a dive into Visions of Mana, but that was pretty cool. That was an interesting kind of thing thrown in there. A nice little surprise. I was thinking they were going to add some kind of surprise, but I doubted that it would be some kind of shadow drop or something like last year. They can't really do that every single time. But the look that we got at Indiana Jones was pretty good. It looked nice. You know, definitely looked like it was coming along well. And we did finally get a release date for Hellblade II. It was definitely one of the first longest running games that we've seen for a while in development, since it was revealed along with the reveal of the Series X console. So to finally get a release date for that is nice. And of course, we got windows for the rest of the games supposedly confirmed for this year, withholding any kind of delays or something. But still no info on Towerborn, I believe was another game that might be coming out this year. Or maybe not at this point. I'm not really sure if maybe that's something we'll see at E3, or rather not E3 anymore, Summer Games Fest, right? But Xbox's presentation there. And overall, I'm looking forward to seeing more of Hellblade 2 and eventually playing it in a few months, I guess, as it is. And hopefully we see more with Xbox and Square Enix. Of course, seeing them here is kind of a move in the right direction, since they've kind of been skipping Xbox for many of their games, including the Mana games that have released more recently in terms of remasters, and I think there was one remake. Of course, most notably Final Fantasy being the big one that Square Enix has skipped for Xbox, even though some of the games have been timed exclusives. But overall, the Pixel remasters had no exclusivity tied to it that we know of, so it would be interesting to see if maybe during this summer showcase that we can see a port for those games, at least, even if we have to wait a little bit longer for the bigger mainline new Final Fantasy games. But of course, nice to see them here all the same. And looking forward to whatever else Xbox has planned for this year. But let me know if you guys are excited for any of the games they showed here. Are you excited to see Hellblade in May? And what else you might be looking forward to from Xbox this year? Maybe the Indiana Jones game, depending on when that comes out. Probably late in the year, since they didn't give even kind of a window outside of this year. But we'll see how that goes. And until next time, I've been Phantom King, and I'd like to thank you all for watching.